A very good evening, and thanks for clicking on to the Easter Monday edition of Vogan's European Outlook. Certainly a lot of interesting things going on at the moment globally. These are the current sea surface temperatures as of the 30th of April, and of course there is no question we are seeing a very significant area of cooling within the Pacific Ocean still, and this is really a time when you would expect to see a gradual weakening of the La Nina and the ultimate demise of that La Nina, but it looks as if it's deterioration kind of halted, and then we actually seen a regeneration of colder than normal waters developing, and you can see here the very strong cooling just off the South American coast here, right up against the South American coast. We've seen record low temperatures in areas such as Lima and Peru, of course, as a direct consequence of that cooling. Looking at the other areas, we have an interesting cooling western and central portion of the Atlantic. Very warm, as you can see here, in a horseshoe extending from Greenland round towards the UK and Ireland here, down the eastern side of the basin here, and into the main development region here. We've got warm water over the North Pacific, very warm waters across much of the Indian Ocean as well, and of course we're continuing to see ongoing record heat across parts of Pakistan, northern India, where of course in recent days we've seen a temperature of 49 Celsius, knocking the door of 50 Celsius, and about a degree and a half away from what was the April record. Of course we're now on the 2nd of May. But certainly it is going to be interesting as we go into the summer season to see how this La Nina kind of holds up, and it looks as if we are going to maintain that La Nina fairly strongly indeed through the summer season and into the winter season next year as well, believe it or not. But it's going to be also interesting to see how this ongoing La Nina, this 3-year La Nina, how much of an influence it continues to have on the global temperature here. Of course, we'll continue to see this kind of fight and this kind of disconnect, so to speak, between global 2-meter temperature anomalies, which are still very warm compared to normal, versus the kind of downward trend in temperature within the lower troposphere. Over the next day or so, we'll probably see the UAH temperature coming in for the month of April. It'll be interesting to see where that winds up, and also where the global temperature winds up as well. Like I say, there's quite that disconnect, I believe anyway, between the surface temperatures globally and the lower troposphere globally as well. So something worth keeping an eye on as we go forward. Looking at the temperatures for today, the 2-meter temperature anomalies of a climate reanalyzer, which is from the University of Maine. We've got an interesting belt of cool extending from the North Plains of the United States up through the prairies, across central Greenland, Iceland, parts of Europe, and that is extending into western portions of Russia, as you can see here, eastern Russia as well. We've got cooler than normal across parts of Thailand, Vietnam, South China, and of course we've got the very strong heat across parts of Pakistan and India as well. Temperatures coming down over the next day or so here before the temperatures come back up once again. But all in all, while we've got this belt of cool across the top here, we've got still some pretty cold temperatures across Antarctica, minus 1.8 Celsius below normal, the Arctic at 0.4, Southern Hemisphere overall at minus 0.1, Northern Hemisphere almost a half a degree above normal, and the globe is 0.2 Celsius above normal. Tropics also just above the average as well here. Of course, we've said goodbye to the month of April, a dry month, and we say hello to the month of May. Looks as if we're going to continue with that dry theme as we go forward here. As I play it through the loop, you can see here the yellows representing below normal temperatures, or should I say below normal rainfall, and it looks as if we are going to maintain this theme generally through at least the first half of the month. So the next couple of weeks all in all, while we've got a few systems coming and going that will bring some rainfall to parts of the UK and Ireland, the overall emphasis above normal pressure, below normal rainfall, and then as we push towards the middle portion of the month with dry ground in place, high pressure and control, continuing strengthening of the sun. There is both ECMWF and GFS representing some form of surge of summer heat through the middle portion of May, so we'll keep our eyes on that, certainly, because you can see here as I play it through the loop, this is off the ECMWF off weathercharts.com, and as I play through the sequence here, you can see here that the cold never really got into the British Isles, so that was unexpected. I was very firmly believing at least that we would see a cold end to the month of April, beginning of May. Quite honestly, it's left egg in my face, because it definitely did not, you don't need me to tell you it didn't materialise, and it was quite disappointing actually. All in all, it looks as if the temperatures for the month of April for the UK was close to average, maybe slightly above average overall. As I play through this loop, this is off the CMWF, like I say, you can see here cold trying to push into the northern half of the British Isles, but it's at the very end of this loop. You can see the warmth gathering over northwestern portions of Africa, up into Spain and Portugal, and then as you can see here, that warmth then is lifting north, and that could be quite a significant push of warmth, as you can see here. And it really just at the very end of the loop, you can see it edging in towards the British Isles here. So this is Thursday the 12th of May, and these are of course, like I say, 850 millibar temperatures. Looking at the GFS, you can see here it is indicating some very pronounced warmth as well. Go back to the current setup, you can see here as I play it through the loop, the cold never comes in. We see the warmth starting to gather across parts of Africa, and then as I play through the loop, what the models actually indicate is an area of low pressure deepens off Spain and France, and it actually opens the door and pulls very warm air over northwest Africa up into the British Isles here. And as you can see here, it is indicating some fairly warm 850 millibar temperatures towards the middle portion of the month, and this is actually something I forecasted on the outlook here, so I do get some things right now and again. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see whether we can get a surge of summer heat up into the British Isles towards the middle portion of the month, with low pressure deepening out over the Atlantic to the west. That low acts as a wheel, kind of drawing and pulling that warmth north. And exactly with this type of scenario here, we could be talking about temperatures as issued in the May outlook. Could be talking about temperatures in the mid-20s in Scotland, upper 20s, possibly even pushing 30 Celsius, believe it or not, in parts of southern Britain, if this solution was to materialise. But long way out, of course. We're only on the 2nd of May, but do of course stay tuned to marvelandweather.com right here on my YouTube channel as well, and we'll continue to watch this pattern as it evolves. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday. I'll be back again hopefully tomorrow with more. Bye for now.